Big business is betting on AI.
This historic investment is a monumental demonstration of confidence in America's future.
Today, we're exploring how it could impact the job market as a San Francisco-based company is playing off AI fears.
So we went into it trying to balance being provocative with getting the message across.
And whether the quickly developing technology is putting jobs at risk.
Some tasks or some sectors where it is, right, replacing humans. But on net and in most sectors, employment does not decline when a firm starts investing in AI.
This is CBS News Bay Area with Elizabeth Cook.
I'm Makovec. Artificial intelligence is working its way into our social media feeds, our advertisements, and now the White House and City Hall. Today, we're exploring what the rise in AI means for our daily lives. And we're going to be joined by a local professor who's done a lot of research on that subject. We have all heard the speculation about how artificial intelligence could impact workers here in the Bay Area and beyond. You might have seen these billboards in San Francisco. They're really playing on the fear of getting replaced by AI. It says, quote, "Stop hiring humans," causing some conversation around the city. So our Wilson Walker spoke with the CEO behind the billboards and asked, is AI actually going to take all our jobs?
But look, it seems to declare quite explicitly what a lot of people fear about AI.
Yeah, it does. It does. I think that going into this, we knew that if we made the billboards like everyone else makes their billboards, no one's going to care. Like if I put a billboard up that said, we're going to improve your outbound sales, then we wouldn't be talking right now. It wouldn't matter. Like we'd spend the money and we'd get nothing from it. So when we created the campaign, we went into it knowing that we have to be provocative. We have to do something different to draw attention. And
Jasper Carmichael Jack, founder and CEO of Artisan AI, is quick to acknowledge what you may already suspect. The ads are deliberately provocative and not to be taken literally. He says their AI sales software isn't for businesses looking to shed jobs, but automate some undesirable tasks.
And they're excited to use the product. They're excited to be able to hand off the menial work that they don't enjoy doing and focus on real human work and doing things that only a human can do. And I think that's what we're really going after. We're going after replacing the work that people don't want to do so they can do the work that they actually enjoy.
But the ads do play off of a very widespread fear. An August poll found 48% of working Americans think AI will decrease the number of jobs available in their industry. So is that happening? And how would we know if that is happening, right? Businesses don't just come out and tell us their private strategies, much less how AI might be affecting their workforce. So how do we learn what businesses might not be inclined to tell us?
So we overcome that challenge by leveraging very, very detailed data on the job postings of those firms and the resumes of their workers. So think LinkedIn profiles, PDF resumes, right? Resumes people submit to jobs, to be able to see whom the firms are hiring.
A behavioral economist at UC Berkeley, Anastasia Fedek, is part of a remarkable sleuthing effort with help from partners around the world. They're following enough resumes and LinkedIn pages to have a track on some 60 to 70% of the American professional workforce. So they've been able to see which businesses have been hiring AI expertise often years before those companies might publicly talk about those programs.
We link that to what's happening to the firm, the public information of the firm, like its sales, the employment numbers, the total employment numbers. That's something that's in the reports.
And from all of that, they can say that most businesses that move towards AI actually end up adding employees.
On net, in most sectors, right, and again, there's some tasks, there's some sectors where it is, right, replacing humans, but on net and in most sectors, employment does not decline when a firm starts investing in AI.
The reason, she says, is that AI is generally good for business. It often starts when a company hires someone with an AI background.
They leverage the AI tools for innovation, and then you have your additional product patents, you have your additional trademarks, you hire your additional product managers to manage that product, your additional salespeople to sell that product.
We actually do secretly love humans. Like we have a lot of humans on our team and we're hiring a lot more.
Back to Artisan's billboards, they probably say more about the AI business frenzy than the impact on human employment. Remember, Artisan is advertising to potential buyers in a market that is still taking shape. Many traditional businesses are thinking about what AI might be able to do for them, and emerging AI producers are fighting each other for that business.
And so there's a lot of competition to capture market share among the firms that are producing the technology, which, yeah, of course, will lead to much more catchy advertising.
And to be completely candid, I don't think anyone should stop hiring humans. I think that there's a lot of things that humans can do that AI definitely can't do. And when we get to the point where people should stop hiring humans, we should have universal basic income by then, and there should not be a 5-day work week.
Well, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, AI could actually increase jobs in the long run. By 2033, the Bureau estimates a 4% increase in jobs likely to utilize AI. That includes paralegals, media, and technical writers. Well, coming up, the president-elect announcing a major investment to develop AI. More on big tech's potential influence in the incoming administration.
I'm thrilled to announce that SoftBank will be investing $100 billion in America, creating 100,000 American jobs at a minimum.
President-elect Trump making that announcement earlier this week with the CEO of the Japanese investment company standing by his side. Trump says that money will go toward investing in AI.
This historic investment is a monumental demonstration of confidence in America's future, and it will help ensure that artificial intelligence, emerging technologies, and other industries of tomorrow are built, created, and grown right here in the USA.
Now, before Trump took office in 2016, SoftBank made a similar promise to invest $50 billion to create 50,000 jobs. Joining me now to talk more about the investment in AI is Olaf Groth with the Haas School of Business at UC Berkeley. Thanks for being with us.
Always good to be with you, Ann. Thank you.
So we talked about that last investment the same company made last time Trump was president. How did that turn out?
Well, 50 billion, 50,000 jobs pledged. Clearly, a lot of money was spent. We would have to say that, but it's very unclear as to how much employment was actually created. These things are always a rather tricky science because so many factors play into these investments. But frankly, a lot of the AI investments and anything that's sort of data science related at the very high end of innovation is a tough nut to crack in terms of employment, because most of it goes into design and into sales, and so it's not really sure that he's going to create those 100,000 jobs. But we'll see.
All right, now, just to take it back to one of the other big headlines today, Elon Musk is kind of sinking a deal in the House to raise the debt ceiling. Not that specifically, but when I'm thinking about this addition of politics, big money, AI, tech, the convergence of all of it, it makes me a little bit nervous. Is that valid?
Yeah, look, it's certainly valid because there's a lot of people at work now in and with Washington, or as of January 20th, I should say, that have very little experience with how Washington works, how national politics works. But they have a lot of money and they have a lot of say now, and they have a lot of innovation power behind them. So it's natural to be skeptical. I would be too, or I am too, but I'm also wondering if we're going to see a renaissance of tech innovation here, really elevating our game even further in the United States. So some innovation, both inside Washington, but really throughout the country, can only help both from a national economic development angle as well as our competition with China.
So there's a lot of talk, as AI is just emerging so rapidly, about trying to put some sort of guardrails on it. When you have all this tech influence in the White House, is that the fox guarding the hen house situation?
Well, you always got to worry about regulatory capture, right? Which is when tech tycoons go in and have outsized influence to try to co-determine the rules. However, I think that is balanced here in that some of the people that are now having more of a say with Trump are actually quite critical of big tech. Clearly, Washington will need big tech in its competition against China, and it also plays a really hefty role in stimulating growth still. But it's not like because these tech billionaires are now having more of a say that the big tech companies automatically will grow more powerful. It could be quite the opposite, in fact.
Okay. All right. Now, we know that Mr. Trump has met with the OpenAI founder, Sam Altman, as well as Meta's Mark Zuckerberg, both pledging millions of dollars to his inaugural fund. How do you think his relationship with Silicon Valley is going to be?
Well, clearly he's been very critical of Silicon Valley as being too left-leaning, not welcoming of his messages. And that is really paired with some of these entrepreneur billionaires, as it were, now being very skeptical about big tech because they're saying it squishes small tech, as it were, meaning entrepreneurial tech and startups that some of these billionaires, of course, are now funding themselves. And so clearly the relationship has been strained. Given the influence that these billionaires will have, maybe that relationship will be turned around and will be more balanced because they get more of a say against big tech. So that remains to be seen.
Yeah, locally, it looks like San Francisco's new mayor, Daniel Lurie, said that he is going to lean heavily into AI, and OpenAI founder Sam Altman is part of his transition team. What do you think that's going to look like for the city?
Well, I think the city clearly needs a lot of help on the governance side. And I think people voted Lurie in because they weren't happy with the status quo. Too few things are fundamentally changing. Arguably, cities are very, very complex systems, as it were. And so maybe the hope here is that Altman and more AI tools and solutions could potentially help solve some of the city's problems. But at the very least, I think there is a lobby for expanding investment in San Francisco.
I think for the layman here, this technology is evolving so quickly. It's like I don't even know what to be worried about. There's the whole "is it going to take your job" thing. Is there any other dangers that we should sort of be on the lookout for?
Yeah, and as your previous, I think, segment showed, right, that fear of massive layoffs is overblown. But beyond that, there's also fear of AI, of course, running away with your privacy, with your human agency as you make decisions in life, because some of these will be automated. What kind of decisions are going to be made automatically about you that you have no say in? And then, of course, there's the biggest existential threat of them all, and that is the weaponization of consumer AI. So foreign or domestic interests spying on you, trying to unduly influence you, etc. And last but not least, AI and weaponry. And luckily, here at Berkeley, we've got some of our own, like Stuart Russell, fighting against that. And so there are lots of people devoting attention to those dangers now.
Okay, yikes. Okay, we know that you're going to help us as this all evolves, make sense of it, and always appreciate your time, Dr. Olaf Grout.
Thank you, Ann.
We'll be right back. Thanks for watching. You can always get all the latest headlines and weather over on KPIX+. And remember to like and click the button on the bottom left of your screen to subscribe for the biggest Bay Area news.